Let's start with Eric Robinson and how good it's been to see him put the puck in the back of the net and finish. You've seen him with lots of opportunities, but lately he's been finishing. What's been the difference there, if anything?
I think just confidence. He's got 12 in the year, though. It's not his first 2 or 3 of the year. He's been fairly consistent this year. He's had a good offensive year for him, and he went a little bit dry there for a bit, but great to see him finish. They put a lot of hard work in and a lot of hard minutes, so to get rewarded on that side of it's great.
And how much of a byproduct of that is nice for you to see? You see him checking and working hard on the physical side of things, and then to see him rewarded with goals like that is great.
Yeah, they take a lot of tough assignments, a lot of hard minutes, the PK, all those things, and we know his speed, what it can do, and he can terrorize D. You saw last night, their D took a little bit of an inside position, a couple extra strides, and that's all he needed to get down there, and pretty good shot on the short side. So, those guys that, the curls, that line, I know we've talked about a lot, but what they, the value they bring every night as far as their tenacity, their checking, all the things that are required, and those tangibles. It's great to see him get rewarded on the offensive side.
I'm going to stick with the New Jersey theme and go to Johnny. His numbers have been great, but he's also been such a great attribute, I would imagine, for you in terms of helping bring some of these young players along. Can you just talk about how he's done that and how he's been able to help some of these young players, Canton and Marchie and those guys?
Yeah, I think he's a quiet guy. He's not a guy. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's not, But I think they watch, his game and when he's at his best, his legs are moving. He's attacking the game. He creates time and space for himself, and those are things that are hard to teach. How those offensive players, how they find ice, and he'll use underneath ice. He'll use, but you got to have the right skill set and the pace to do that, and he does that. And I think the guys like KJ, like Marchie, that have certain skill sets can learn from that. So I think he teaches by example.
Does he have to be on the ice with him to make it happen, or can they learn just by being around him as often as they are and observing?
Oh yeah, practice. I'm sure they talk to him. I'm sure that there's lots of conversations that happen over 82 games, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is his first full year. I think Johnny's got more comfortable as the year's gone on. You got to remember, being in one organization for as long as he has, it's a big transition, life transition, not just hockey. He started a young family and all those things that go with it. Moving, new house, everything, and that takes time. You can't rush that. So I think he's more settled. I think you can see more of his personality coming out in the team.
Goalie tonight?
Hutch, yeah.
They play in the same system in Cleveland that you're playing here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's helped.
Oh yeah. No, that was a priority. We've been doing that for a couple of years now.
Thought so, because those guys have come in, and that's part of the keeping you guys in games, right?
Well, yeah. You've seen how many we've had to use, right? It's been one of those seasons where at any given time we could have half of them. So, right. And you see why it's so important for it to be seamless. There's some maybe small nuances that might be different, but we talk about everything, and I think it's important. I've coached down there, and it helps the player if you're playing the same system. So when he comes up, there's enough pressure when you come up, enough butterflies. You don't want to be thinking too much. And so, again, credit the coaching staff down there. They've done an excellent job with these guys.
How about the goalie situation? It seems like a kind of a rally point for your team, the last 3 guys that have started.
Yeah. Again, we've seen quite a few goalies this year too, and a few, and they've done real well. I think the guys are battling hard in front of them. They're doing their part, and then the goalies are coming with big saves and key times. Jet was for your first game in the NHL start, that's a heck of a game, heck of a start for your career there, and to do it in your hometown is even more special.
Yeah.
They ended up with 50 shots the other day, but did you like in general the way they weren't necessarily grade A opportunities? I mean, they funneled a lot toward the net, but they weren't odd man rushes, positions where Jet was put into really bad spots for the most part.
Yeah, Toronto's one of the best in the league at generating, and they're coming at you with a full lineup minus maybe O'Reilly, but so you're going to have to defend and really just try and deny those second and third opportunities, because they're going to get inside. Like Tavares, Matthews, Nylander, and Marner, and these guys are very slippery, very strong. And then you add their power play. We gave up some opportunities there, but we were able to hold the fort. But they do an excellent job, like I said, of getting it past the first layer, and then they use big bodies to get underneath and get inside. So I think we did a fairly good job of trying to minimize the heavy grade A's. They're still going to get their opportunities, but these guys are battling.
Yeah. Stylistically, the way Toronto generates, how different is New Jersey in how they create offense? Both teams are pretty good at putting the puck in the net.
Both very good. These guys, I think when you look at their four lines, they're just built on speed, and then you throw the high skill with Hughes and Hischier and Brad, and now you add a big body like Meyer in there, and I think they had him on their third line right now, and they're a pretty healthy group right now. So they're really dangerous coming out of their D zone as far as any shot to net that's knocked down, they're gone. And they push the pace, they leak a lot, meaning that they're going to try and exit the zone fast without the puck, and they're trusting their D's going to get it up. So you can't get caught sleeping, and a little bit different than Toronto. These guys have done it different than several teams this year, but they have kind of that team built for that with that speed. And so you got to be on your toes from the offensive end, and your reloads, your tracking, you're making sure guys aren't getting in behind you.
Okay, back in New Jersey, is this still? I mean, last time you were here, I think you got a wonderful welcome from the New Jersey fans. Yeah. You expecting that again tonight or no?
I'm hoping it dies down a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably stick with it. But it's good to be back in New Jersey, playing in New Jersey, and it's gonna be a fun one tonight.
Johnny, as you look at this year, we know the disappointments team-wise, but for you, good numbers, and I think you found kind of a new role as a mentor for some of these young players. I'm wondering how you've adjusted to that, how much you enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's been kind of a tough year, not winning as many games as we'd like, but it's still been a fun year, working with a lot of the younger kids and the younger guys in our locker room, and getting to know a lot of the guys. Obviously, my first year here, so, it's been a fun year, spending a lot of time with them, but hopefully we can keep, kind of growing as a team here and kind of have a good end of the season and get ready for next year.
Yeah, I think what you're looking at there, though, is the foundational work that you've laid, right? Especially with these young guys, you don't know if they're going to be line mates or not next year, likely. So that's got to be something that you can hang your hat on a little bit. Yeah,
a lot of them have made great strides this season, and they're getting to see how it is to play full season in the NHL. A lot of them, and a lot of younger guys who getting called up are getting experience and opportunities to play in the NHL as well. So I think it's great for our organization, for these young guys to kind of step their foot into the NHL and see what it's like, and hopefully that'll help us build as a team going forward.
Do you think it added another layer to what you can bring to the table to any team? Really, is your ability to not only play well on the ice, but to be that guy who helps these young guys along?
Yeah, I mean, it's like yesterday when I was first stepping into the league, and a lot of help from a lot of different players throughout my career. So, kind of just help them a little bit, whatever they need, and I think I'm there for them if they need anything or ask questions, this and that. But it's been good. It's been good so far this year.
It's been helpful for your own game as well.
Yeah, I think trying to be smart with the puck. Try to kind of lead more of an example out on the ice and being smart with the puck, and close to end of periods and this and that, and it's something I learned throughout my career. It's important, be smart with the puck and stuff. So hopefully we can keep learning together as a team with that kind of stuff and go from there.